to me, somebody that I look up to a great deal. Known as Mr. P. His books are called Jokers. I keep the Seasons by the Bay and Full Deck Jokers Playing. Oscar Penaranda.
It'll last about 7 or 8 minutes. About 7 to 8 minutes of orgasm. You can last it long. Filipino ako. From across the 7,000 islands and seas, I am the blood earth patis, flowing through the mountains, soul veins of my people. The slated dung tongues of winter rain, mud carabaos. Filipino ako, I am Filipino. The 1,000-year-old savage green moss forest, Ifugao, Bagoong, the sharp Baguio wind piercing naked Igorot bodies, isda from the mountain sea. Filipino ako. I am the slated pink salmon from Alaska, barreled in thick seasoned wood, floating around like orange persimmon buttocks, fermenting in a bursting secret sky. Isda clinging to the pounding wave, slashing across like a bolo, drifting down to the Bay of San Francisco, wading through the thick soggy fog and down the seaweed rocky shores. Filipino ako, I am Filipino. Living out in the Mission and Manila Town, in Chinatown, in Japantown, and in Central City, and in Soma, and Stockton, and Vallejo, and Salinas, and Seattle, and Watsonville, and San Jose, and Hayward, and Mount Eden, Centerville, San Francisco, Sacramento, Alton, Walnut Grove, down the coast and on the mountains and hills and below the trees, and near rivers and streams and oceans in the Delano fields of brown volcanic breasts, growing out of Igorota, Nipahat, Panao mines. Filipino ako, I am Filipino. Filipino ako, the kapatid of the loincloth Filipinos in the Sacramento River, rice shacks in Central City, Bayanihan, Filipino ako, I am Filipino. Pagkain with your bare hands, feel the steaming hot kanin, warming then squeezing the tomatoes like blood in your hands. Mix the chili peppers with onions and shoyu. Eat fish tails and fish heads and fish eyes and fish eggs. Pagkain all day with 1,000 Filipino suns in your belly. With the flame in your tongue, with the flame in your eyes, burning the sky raging red. Filipino ako, I am Filipino. Dance wild into the dark night with crackling bamboo flute. Dance until the roots in the ground grow strong. Dance to the ancient ways of spears and bolos and bamboo underwear. Dance to the thunder throbbing, wailing naked brown bodies wrapped in wet banana leaves. Dance to the poor peasants. Dance to the wild Ifugao, dung moon smeared women. Dance to the flowing blood of wild goats spilling down from the mines of Filipino. Dance to autumn goats' intestines, to the erection of 1,000 pig ears and pig eyes and pig heads. And dance to Don Carlos Carvajal and Legazpi, chemistry poet and worker for the Filipinos. Dance to Carlos Bolosan, Filipino poet. Dance to Carlos Villa and Leo Vallador, and Sid Vallador, and Serafin Malay Siquia, and all the manongs and the Filipino faces in the jungles, in the cities, in the ghettos. Dance to Carabao smells of feasts and seasons and tales. Dance to Magsaysay, dance to my tatay, Filipino clown, gambler, wild boar running wild in the food halls in the cities, fisherman in Alaska, and fruit picker in Stockton, and a Filipino who sang 1,000 songs to his children. Filipino ako, I am Filipino, God damn it!